Sound off.
Rated T14.
Does young people even need a voice in this community? What can the community expect from this show?
I am my brother's keeper. We got to be responsible for each other.
It's okay to be different. Building stronger communities by helping the rest of our community really make it and achieve their dreams.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go!
Good morning, Horry and Georgetown counties, and welcome to Sound Off. Now, Sound Off is heard weekly on your favorite radio station. At Sound Off, it is our goal to deal with issues that are relevant to our young people. Now, we're sponsored weekly by Carolina Teen Health, and with me on this morning, once again, such good-looking, such intelligent young people. Would you like to introduce yourselves at this time, please?
Good morning, I'm Brandon Muhammad.
My name is Ryan. Good morning, I'm Mercedes. Y'all know I'm up in the booth today. What's up? It's Michelle.
Good morning, y'all. It's Tanisha.
That's what I'm talking about. Energy. Y'all had y'all Wheaties on this morning?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all will need it. We have a fun topic. Sounds good. Now, the last couple of Saturdays, we had topics that were pretty heavy and pretty serious. So, on this morning, we will have some fun. We're going to go out, sound off in the streets. But I think I want to begin with the team. What we're going to talk about this morning is stereotypes. And let's define what stereotypes are. Stereotypes are assumptions we make about an entire group. Now, it's based on observation of some members. But the bad thing about stereotyping is we attribute observations to all members of the group, rather it applies to them or not. Now, I think almost everyone has experienced some form of stereotyping. Either you were the one doing the stereotyping or you were being stereotyped. So on that note, let's see. Let me dig into my closet of stereotyping and I'll begin. Y'all want me to begin so y'all won't feel like y'all have the pressure? Okay, I'm taking the pressure off. How come if somebody's obese, you automatically assume that they will shut down a buffet bar? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No, is that not stereotyping?
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's
I'm going to give y'all one more. I don't really like watermelon. I'm just saying. Okay. I'll give you one more because Miss Schofield's on a roll.
We see that.
I'm on a roll. Okay.
Go ahead.
Why do we assume just because you have a southern twang that you're from the South?
True. True.
I have a friend not calling Diane Knox's name from Chicago, and Diane speaks a little more Southern than I do. I'm just saying, shout out to Diane Knox. Let's keep it moving. Yeah. Michelle, what's your point? What do you have to say about stereotyping?
I believe stereotyping is a way, it's kind of like attention because you say it and people laugh about it and everything, but it's not always true. Like, for an example, why do all black people gotta like chicken? I mean, fried chicken at that. Because, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here in front. I do like fried chicken, but I don't eat it every day. Okay. Like some people act. Some black people may not like fried chicken.
Okay, let's take a vote. Is that stereotyping?
I think
it's stereotyping.
Unanimous. Okay. Well, let's move on to Tanisha. What is your experience about stereotyping?
I really don't have experience, but having that I do have some friends of other races. Why do they think that just because you're blonde, if you're a blonde-headed girl, why you got to be dumb?
Ooh.
True.
That's stereotyping.
I know some smart people who are actually blonde-headed people, and they are very smart.
Okay, let's clap for all the blonde-headed smart people. Woo! I appreciate you being smart. Let's move on to Mercedes. Okay, I got one for you, Mercedes, before you go. All right. Why do people assume that your parents ran out of names because they named you Mercedes?
Now see, I'm going to speak some truth on that. Honestly, I was named after a member of my family. I wasn't named after the new Mercedes rolling around that some of y'all people driving in now. I'm just saying. Now, start another one. Why, when black people huddle together, they all got to get hot? I've been around a lot of white people. We get hot too. Why is every person that comes out of jail or just happened to be coming out of jail assumed to be a bad person? Now, some of them are actually pretty nice. Some of them have changed while they was in jail, and they not bad anymore. So, how y'all feeling on that subject? Because I know some people that could be the nicest people in the world that just came out of jail.
I see, some people can go to jail for, the wrong things, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah. I feel like if you in the wrong place at the wrong time and you can able to prove that, then I feel you shouldn't go to jail. Because I know people that's in the jail like that.
Change your friends. I'm just saying.
True.
And
Might bring you to some
sometimes
bad situations.
your association, but we're not. That's another whole subject.
True. Yeah.
But if they stole out of my house, they need to be in jail. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And when they come out, if they reform and they change, no problem. But yeah, that is, we do stereotype as it relates to that because it does carry some stigma to it when somebody goes to jail. How did my girl Rion feel about this stereotyping thing?
Well, why do people assume just because you're like a bigger person that you need more, like, okay, say from a bigger person to a skinnier person. Say you're in a lunchroom and they give the bigger person a bigger piece of chicken and they give the skinnier kid like
that's good.
Like a wing or something. Like,
it's true.
How did they do that? Like,
you know what? Your mama said that happened to her. That is not right. You heard what Rion said. Why you got to give the person who has a little more meat on them the big chicken and assume because she's skinny she only needs a small piece of chicken? I think you should help her out. You know, obviously she needs a little more chicken. That's good. That's absolutely good. You know why? Because we assume that people that are beasts eat more than people that are skinny. And I definitely know that is not the truth. That holds not a lot of weight to it. Yes, ma'am, Michelle.
Okay, I got one. Why is it that when other races, like when someone gets loud, like they talk loud, they get upset, and they just start speaking loud, why are they considered ghetto? Because
they probably are.
Not all the time.
I'm just kidding.
Now I know sometimes because I talk in a regular voice, but when I get upset, you know that tension just builds up in you. You get upset, you just gotta let it out. Sometimes you just gotta yell.
No, you need anger management.
That's nice.
I mean, look, Brandon, that's a case of needing anger management. No. Okay, all right. Okay. Y'all need anger management. Some of y'all really do. Okay, what you got, Tanisha? Michelle, I'm playing. You love me?
I love you.
Tell me you love me, Michelle.
I love you,
okay.
Scofield.
I just want to make sure.
Why do people assume that if you have a tattoo or a piercing or multiple tattoos or multiple piercings that you're a bad person? I can't call no names, or the church. I know a pastor, a youth pastor, and he's of other race, and he has like all these tattoos on his neck and his arm, but he's a really good guy. Why do we automatically assume that? Like,
you're right. But he probably got it before he became a pastor.
That's what I was
Yeah, he probably did. But I mean, you're right. You know what? And that is true. When you see like the outward appearance, especially physically, if I see somebody with tattoos, automatically, and it's not right, you assume that they have a certain personality. You assume certain things about them. And that's what stereotype is. Yeah. Now, honestly, my man, Mr. Cannon, with the big fro. You know, automatically people will assume that he's not articulate, and he is. He's not a smart guy because he has this big fro and he walks around with this very nonchalant attitude. But when that brother opens his mouth, he's a genius. So you're right, and that's part of stereotyping. What do you got to say, Mercedes, with the name that your parents gave you because they ran out?
They didn't run out, though.
Okay.
They was actually fighting over my name.
Oh, for real?
Saying the truth. My dad wanted to name me a whole nother name.
Honda?
Honda, no, it was Lexus. It was Lexus. It was Lexus. No,
oh, okay. All right.
But my mom actually found out the history behind a Mercedes.
Tell us the history.
The history behind it was the guy who invented the Mercedes went to a Spanish country, fell in love with a girl there, and her name just happened to be Mercedes. But it was pronounced a little different. They put more of an A into it.
Aww.
He couldn't prove to her father that he was a man enough for her daughter, and so he had to go back. He went back home, depressed about it, named the car after her, got it, they made it all nice and everything first. And then named the car after her, came back, showed him that he really cared about his daughter, and they finally got married and, had their kids, and he brought up the Mercedes, and everybody fell in love with it.
A little history from Sound Off Crew. That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out to all Mercedes makers.
And you know what? I apologize to your mom and dad for assuming that they ran out of names. That's a form of stereotyping. What you got to say, Brandon?
One of mine is, how come if somebody wears big clothes, they're probably a drug dealer? Like, my thing is, that's just a style, Like, just because somebody likes to have deep pockets, that might mean they got a lot of things to carry. They might have cell phones, papers, pens, you know, pagers, you know what I mean, iPods, all that.
Well, get a male pocketbook then. You got that much stuff to carry. Get a briefcase.
I just don't see they should. I just don't see they should stereotype that as drug dealer.
It really is.
Yeah. I got one more.
Okay, what you got, Tanisha?
Okay, organization wise, and the Greeks, like if you are a part of a certain sorority or fraternity, they think you got to act that way. But I mean, at the end of the day, they both got the same principles and the same, I'm gonna say, understanding.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And I just feel like, why are we judging them like that?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And also shout out to the Greeks.
Because I experienced that firsthand. But you know what? The thing that you have to understand when you pledge, for example, when you become a part of that group, you're not, in some cases, individually known as that person anymore. They attribute and associate you with that group. So you got to be careful with that. But you're absolutely right. I was Claudine Lance, now Schofield, before I knew anything about Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Oop. Just I thought I'd throw that one in, you know. So I do understand, but you're absolutely right. That is a form of stereotyping. And I know, Mercedes, I'm coming back to you because you look like you have something to say. I'm going to hit you again, Mercedes.
The only thing I was going to say about the whole Greeking, the whole getting into the thing about it is, that whole thing follows you for life. And sometimes it actually looks good on your applications because you don't know. Your former boss might have been one of those people, and then you get the job. Sometimes it might have worked the wrong way because they might have been against them. I don't know. I know when I go to college, I want to get into it because they seem like it's a bunch of fun. I want to.
We're not going to endorse Greek life this morning. That'll be another show, but it is fun. Okay, Michelle, what do you have, Michelle? Represent David and Tina DeBerry real good on this morning.
Oh God, a lot of pressure.
Government name.
Pressure.
That's put pressure on you because your mom and daddy probably listening. What you have, Michelle?
Are. But okay, this is how I see it. Now, because sometimes you can't always assume, but why is it if I wear a certain color that I'm like automatically, if you see me wearing red all the time, I'm automatically in a gang.
Okay, that's stereotyping, and we dealt with that on last week, so that's really good.
Because, I mean, preferably, I just love the color red. Mm-hmm. I like seeing people in it. I like seeing me in it. I've got on red Converses right now. But, I mean, don't look at me and judge me and say, "Ooh, she in a gang, she wear red all the time." True. You know?
True. Not unless you start throwing them signs up.
Yeah,
I'll get a little bit concerned.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going back to Tanisha. No, Brandon. I'm going back to my Brandon. Now, would you, if I would ask you, how would you answer? Would you say that prejudice and stereotyping is pretty much hand in hand, or do you think that's two different things?
That's a good question.
I want a good answer.
Think about that one.
Yeah, think about it. I'm coming to all y'all. Think about it.
Okay, all right.
I would say that it's different in ways, but if you take it to that level, it can be the same because you could have your prejudice people and then you can have your stereotypical people. The stereotypical people would just be like, oh, that's them, that's this them, they're doing that for that. The prejudice people would be like, they just don't like them because of this.
Okay.
But there's that stage where they're kind of intertwined because you could be stereotypical against just one race.
Gotcha.
Or one group of people, and that stereotypicalness, well, if that's a word.
You just made it up.
Making it up.
It turns into
all right, Mr.
a prejudice.
Webster. Gotcha.
So that's just how I feel about it.
Sound Off.
Rated T14.
Now you're listening to Sound Off, and we invite you to join this conversation. All you have to do is simply log on to www.wesoundoff.com, and you can be a part of this discussion. Sound Off.
Rated T14.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go!
Hey! What's up?